Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 25th of March, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the dollar. It's still looking very bullish on the medium and long-term charts, and we are still just holding the short-term bullish trend. So dollar strength still very much the theme. The euro just teetering on this 110 level, which is pretty critical, but still looking pretty bearish in the medium and long-term charts. The yen is holding the dollar yen is holding that 120 level, so still looking very bullish. A very big week for the dollar against the yen. In fact, we've had three very big weeks. We see the weekly candles here. Remembering the weekly, daily, and 60-minute charts and my long-term, medium-term, and short-term view of the market. We see that sterling is holding the 130 level, still sitting above 131, but we have turned down below the cloud. That stronger dollar having an impact. And against the euro, we're just back below the 120 level, so sterling has weakened slightly there. Bitcoin is up. Really looks like it's finding support on the long-term cloud, and we are through the daily cloud on the lagging line now for the first time in several months. So this is really quite significant. Cryptocurrencies set for a new bull trend there. The S&P 500 index was up again yesterday, just stopped right on cloud support, so it'll be resistance, so it'll be interesting to see whether we can gain today, but that could prove to be a level that we struggle at. And if we look at the Nasdaq, we are on the bottom of the cloud here, so quite significant there as well. The futures, we see the S&P future is down slightly, and the same with the Nasdaq future, so it looks like we will open slightly lower today. And the VIX volatility is in the low 20s, has fallen back quite a bit this last week or two, but the trend is still one that is rising of higher lows and higher highs, so it is still we're seeing the market still fearful, but not as fearful as they were. The FTSE future is down slightly this morning, down 0.33%, just again struggling on cloud resistance there on the daily. And if we look at the DAX in Germany, we're up very slightly, but we're a long way from testing the cloud here. 15,000 is the critical level for the DAX that we need to get back above. The CAC Quarante is little changed this morning. Asia was mixed. The Hang Seng was down 2.5%. Seen a lot of volatility in Hong Kong, and the same in China, as the threat of Western sanctions still hangs over the market there a little bit. And we look at the Sensex, we're down 0.7% there, and the Aussie market was up 0.25%. Resource stocks still driving Aussie higher. We'll look at energy in a minute, but we see wheat is down 1.4%. So really quite interesting that we found that low. We have got this trading range. We are back to short-term bearish. There's some downside targets. If you're trading softs, these charts are really quite key. Corn also just pushing a bit lower. Gold sitting at 1955. Had a bit of a surge this week, but can't really get back above that 2000 level, but 1900 is the critical level at the moment. We're still looking bullish on all three time frames, so that's quite key. And we're seeing other precious metals all mostly up. Palladium up 1/3%, remembering that Russia is a very big supplier, about 1/3 of global palladium. Copper is static at these levels. Just couldn't. It did make an all-time high, but just can't get back above that 5 levels. So that's quite key. US 10-year yields falling back a little bit, but still in the 230s. So quite key there. And if we look at the energy mix now, we've got Brent crude down 2.5% this morning. We went out to clients as bearish for today, and that's what's happening. We're seeing the same with WTI. We had clearer downside targets there. US nat gas is falling back just under 1%, but looking pretty strong with some quite good upside targets, and the trend very strong there. And emissions just struggling to get back above that 80 euro mark. Really just stuck in this rut between 75 and 80 at the moment. Gas prices are down about 10%, having jumped this week. So we've got a real range now on MBP. Remembering that you can actually just put the levels on your chart. And so we're seeing there that the range is around 95, 130 on MBP, on TTF, and on MBP it's similar. We've got downside targets. We're down about 10% this morning. That's the range to watch. Really, it's between sort of 200 and 300 on NBP. People are ready to buy at 200 and they're willing to sell at 300. That's really So £2 or £3 pence per therm. So that's quite key there. Looking at German power this morning, we are seeing we are just again in this same sort of range. So prices really are stuck in that range, and that's quite key as well. That's it for today. Until Monday, have a great weekend. The weather's looking good in the UK. Hopefully it is where you are too. And spare a thought for the people of Ukraine still undergoing a lot of hardship. Until Monday, happy charting. Bye for now.